last week, 2 federal judges said the federal government must tap into its reserves to pay for SNAP for November. Earlier today, President Trump said that money will not be released until the shutdown ends. Do you have any guidance for South Carolinians who feel a little thrown back and forth and in flux with the back and forth about if this money is going to be released and when?
Well, I'm sorry that we're having to go through this, but the answer is we just need 6 more people in the United States Senate to stand up and vote for what they voted for last time. That's called a continuing resolution. They just keep the money going, keep everything going just as it has been. We've had these, they call them continuing resolutions, no addition, no subtraction, no changes. The very people that are not voting for this have voted for them before unless they're brand new. And they have to be very brand new. But there's no excuse for the dysfunction that's going up, and it got everybody upset, got families worried, got certainly people are going to be hungry. And the answer is not going and finding an obscure law somewhere and fighting over it all the way in the courthouses all over the country. They just need to vote just like they did last time and continue the government, just open the government back up and for provide the funds again for several months, and then they can, during that time, they can debate whether they want to increase it or decrease it. But that's the answer. They just need to do what they were sent there to do, and that is to keep that government running within its proper sphere to keep this country strong.
Governor, kind of follow up to that, the USDA said yesterday that they would distribute 50% for about $4.65 billion for SNAP to state governments, but they said it might take several days or weeks or even months.
Or even months.
So.
You know how long it would take for the government to open back up? Senator Thune could set the time tomorrow. They could go in and vote. It'd take what's the time for a vote? 15 minutes is allowed for a vote. That's how much time it would take. They could do it tomorrow, and we wouldn't have to be having all these ridiculous conversations about who's to blame. We know who's to blame. It's they're just not voting. They're not doing what. But again, this continuing resolution, this package of things to do, is the same as the one we just been doing for months. And now the time of it has run out, and we have people who are unwilling to vote to continue to keep the government open for some other reason. They're trying to use it as leverage. That is absolutely irresponsible. It's hurting people.
If the government doesn't reopen, or they don't pass a continuing resolution, and the USDA disperses 50% of South Carolina's funding, do you know of any challenges at DSS or in the state government to adjusting the amount of money that people receive?
There is no way to replace all of that money. It's right now. It's $104 million a month just in South Carolina. In Hurricane Helene, with all the damage that was caused there by a hurricane, not by the lack of 6 people willing to vote in the U.S. Senate in Washington, but by a hurricane, we got no control over that. You know how much the 1SC fund raised? About $6 million. That was a lot. I think that's the most we've ever raised. Those people need to do their job. They need to vote. They need to vote to continue the government being open. There are millions of people dependent on it. There's no excuse for them not to do it. They voted for the same thing before. They need to go ahead and pass it now, and then we can debate. While people are going to school and having food that they need and doing all those things, then we can debate whether we want to change something. This is absurd for the greatest country in the world to be stumbling along for just the lack of a few votes. It is absurd. This will be a chapter in the greatest stupidities in the world, this kind of behavior.